Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make another ephemera holder. I like it. You can put bigger stuff in it. Video a while back I did a smaller ephemera pocket, but we're going to do a larger ephemera envelope, and it's going to have a couple extra pockets. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. We're just using a single side 12 by 12. This one is directional, so I have to pay attention to my scores. So we're going to start with my design going up and down. We're going to score at 3 inches. And it's going to be like a coin style envelope, 8 3/4 inches. And we're going to turn it to the left. We're going to score at 2 1/4. And this is another really easy project. Then we'll just turn it right on around and score it 2 1/4 again. And then we'll turn it back up this way. Now I don't think we need our scoreboard anymore. Now I'll turn it over to the white side. And these two squares up here on the top, we're going to cut these out. Make sure I have it going the right way. Yes. I want to just barely add a little ink just so it shows up better. Okay, so we're going to start at the top. Let me move some of this stuff so I can have this up just a little more so I know I'm not going off camera. All right, so we're just going to cut straight down. And I'm just cutting like next to the score line. Not too far away from it, but just next to it on the inside. Now I guess I cut that one quite a ways over. Now when we cut this, we're going to cut it at an angle. So you can do a smaller angle and then see if you need more of an angle, or you can wing it. You don't want to cut it too big, but... And let me see, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. No. I was hoping that I would be able to get about the same. Well, I could make a little pencil mark. Because, like, just for me eyeballing something, I don't do a very good job of it. And then we'll cut from here up to the score line. And then we'll put these two pieces aside. Now hopefully I have to take just a little tiny bit more off of this one. We just want them to kind of crisscross somewhat. Oh, that's better. Okay. Now, down here on the bottom, on these two squares, and I can highlight them a little bit. we're only going to cut from there to where that intersects. Okay. We're only going to cut from here right straight across. And then we're going to stop right at that score line. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and round my top corners. This is my flap. So I want to round these before I forget. Because you know me, I don't always do what I'm supposed to do. Well, if it gets in there where it belongs. I guess that rounded. That one didn't round very good. That's better. Okay. Now, we can go ahead and fold these in. Very quick and easy project. And my thoughts are, I'm going to make, same way with the smaller ones that I did, I'm going to make a bunch of these and make like a set of them. And I can put my bigger works in progress in. This one might not be a whole lot bigger than that other one. We'll have to see in a minute. Then on the bottom, we can go ahead and fold this up. I don't think it's any bigger. Hang on a second. Okay, well, it's just barely bigger. So we would be able to fit a little tiny bit bigger stuff in this one. So it doesn't hurt to have multiples of something, right? And each one is different. All right, so this bottom one is going to be a bottom pocket. And then we're going to have one of these fold back over, and I'm going to do it on the left side. Let me even this up. And then I have to kind of trim this bottom off because, of course, I didn't cut it very straight, you know. I use these great big scissors and I'll end up cutting the bottom of my pocket. Okay, we're going to let that go now. So, then on this side, we're going to cut this flap off. Now, I want to make sure that this side is straight, so I don't have any funny overhang. So we'll just turn this over and cut this off. I just cut it right on the score line. And then I didn't cut that straight either. How many of you cut straight the first time? I don't, for sure. Still fun though, because we're crafting. There we go. That took long enough. Okay, and now we're going to keep this one. See which one of these is bigger. I can use this one to cover that up so the white isn't showing. I could leave the white or I could cover it up. But I think I have another idea for this just to make it look a little different. So let me grab that. Okay, for my closure, I'm going to use some of this polka dot paper. So I can just use that and it'll kind of offset that. There we go. All right, so let me go ahead and glue this on now. So how's everyone doing today? It's nice and sunny and bright outside here. It's in the 70s. That's a big change for us. Supposed to hit 80 today, so we'll see. All right. So I'm going to line this up. Let me turn this over this way and do it this way. I'm going to line this up. Turn it around. That's my pencil mark. Line this up here. And then I can trim it to fit. Oops. Oh, I guess I didn't move it. That's a good thing. Now, if you have double-sided paper and you use that, then you don't have to cover this up, but that would be the only place that you would really see the white back, or that's the only place that you would really see the other design from your double-sided paper. So okay, so that'll be a small bottom pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that just a little bit, just to cover up a little bit of that white. Now we can start gluing stuff. I need to cut a thumb notch in this. It's kind of wet, but we'll give it a whirl. Oh, let me see, what do I want to use? Do something like that. And that was, I don't know what that was. I thought these were marked. That was like 1.5 inches. Love these punches. They cut so nice and smooth. Okay, so now that would fold over there, and that would be a small pocket. And then we have this pocket back here. And I think I got glue where it didn't belong. Should just tear that off. There. So let's go ahead and glue these down. I'm going to glue on this side, or this edge. And then I'm going to glue on this edge. And then we'll make sure that we get it all glued down. And this just helps so you can get your stuff in and out easier. And if you have a lot of single-sided papers that they're okay, but you really don't flip over them, you know. You could make these, use them as ephemera holders, decorate them up pretty. Now, on this part here, we can use one of these to make like a little gusset. Let me cut this off. And that would just help this pocket to stick out a little bit more. And it doesn't matter if it's sideways, because you really aren't going to see it. So I think I'll cut this like 3/4 of an inch. Oops. And then we'll cut another piece at 3/4 of an inch. And then I just have to eyeball it and hope that it's even. Okay. And we're just going to fold them in half. The paper pad that this come out of, I love the papers. I've used them in different videos. So I want to make me a set out of this stuff. I like browns anyway. Then we'll just, the fold will go to the outside. So I only want to glue so far up. So I'll just glue it there. Making sure that I can fold it over. Okay, so there's that side. And then again, we're going to make sure that the fold is to the outside. Make sure I can fold this one up. So I'm actually just putting it right around that score line. Oh, I didn't know why I marked it. We'll just fold it a little bit. I'm going to leave a little gap in there. It took me a long time when I first started doing these gussets to figure out where it was I was supposed to stop it at. Some of them I kind of got on the score line. Some of them I got too far above the score line, and then it left a big gap at the bottom. Okay, let's see if that folds up. Yes, it does. So we can cut this off. And then along this side, where all of this white is showing, I want to kind of ink that. That's better. Now you can, excuse me, you can ink all of it if you want. It's everyone's preference. So now when we glue this, we're going to glue on these. See, I got that one down a little far. So let me just trim that corner. Got it down just a little farther than what it should have been. So now we're just going to glue on our gussets. I think I want to just barely angle this a little bit. Doesn't have to be too much, but I don't really want it to show. And I think that'll be better. So that side and this side. So now we have a nice pocket in there. So if you have smaller things that's going with your project, you would be able to put them in the front. And we're just going to glue our two sides on this one. And fold that over. Trying to make sure that we're even at the bottom anyway, so it looks right. Now, for this little pocket, I want to make a tag to go in there, and this is also from the paper pad. Let's see if it fits, then I'll tell you how big it is. We'll cut just a little bit off. Maybe we'll cut about that much off. So this will just be a little skinny tag, but you can make notes. And I'm going to leave it stick out that far because I like that. And I'm just going to, let me see, I'll just cut the corner. I'll cut it into a tag shape. I always have to think of which way I'm supposed to turn this thing. I'd much rather use my my little cheat sheet, but there we go. They're over there somewhere. That's not right. That's the way. Do you ever notice what you're supposed to do and then you can't do it because your brain won't let you? Yeah. Now let's see. All right, so we have a fold-out tag that is almost 3.5. It's about 3 and 1/2. Oh, you could just say 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/16, just barely over 3 3/8. And then it's about almost 4 7/8 long. Now you would have to measure your pocket and see how it fit. I think I'll just ink around this a little bit, just highlight the edges. You could see having a little tote or box with these ones in one. And if you haven't seen this video, check it out. And have a tote or a box with these ones in another one. And then when you get ready for your project, you can just pick it out and start working on it. A lot of times for my stuff, I have it in Ziploc bags. But this is fancier. Now you can put a tassel or anything on top. I'm just going to leave it like that. Then on my pocket, to dress it up some, so this is not going to stick out any too far, but I'm going to take this out. I'm going to mark right there where I need to put my glue to. And I'm going to decorate my pocket with this. Isn't it cute? This was this had to have been a video for quite a long time back. Just an ephemera video of some sort. Now this covers up the little notch, so you really didn't have to put it there, but I just want to make sure my glue isn't going over. And your tag will still slide down in there, but isn't that cute? I like that. And it says creative, and we're being creative because we're putting our projects in our envelope. I think I'm glued to something. Maybe it's down in the bottom. Maybe I have to let that dry a little bit. I want to make for sure. Oh, you know what? I have to leave that open for a minute because I think that's where the thumb notch was. So that's our tag. And we're going to go ahead and do our closure, and then we'll see about filling up these pockets to see what it looks like. And I think I'm going to put that right about there. I think it looks about centered. I think so. So I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to wing it. That's not always a good thing, but we're going to anyway. Turn it over. Now I have, so this is the polka dot paper, and then I just have some cardstock that I cut. I cut 3 of this size, which I think is 1 inch, and 3 of this little smaller size, which is about, it's about 5/8. And the other one is 1 inch, just to hold it up off of the paper. So when we wrap our string or our thread around it, it won't get, we'll have room for it anyway. So there we go. know. I need to put a little glue on the bottom. Okay, just put a little glue on the bottom of this. And we'll put this back through. I'll have to cut another circle. I forgot to cut one for covering this up on the inside. I just don't want, it won't hurt anything if it's showing, but I don't want it to catch on anything. So we'll just go ahead and cover it up. And of course, that's not completely in the center. I even tried to make for sure that it was in the center. And the very first one that I cut, was way off where it was supposed to be. So I had to cut another one. So let me see. I can just cut off of, well, I could use these for a couple little tags, so I don't want to cut off of that. Let me see if I have something laying here. No, I don't. Hang on just a second. Okay, so I just cut another one of these. And then we'll just glue that right on there. And then that just makes it look finished also. So it's just definitely not in the center. That should be dry now. So we should be able to put this in and pull it back out. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this for my closure. So turn it around and then maybe I can tie it better. So what are you thinking so far of the envelope? Like I say, it's a very easy project. And you know, when you're not yakking, you're just moving right along. But yakking is fun. Okay. So then we can just wrap it. And I would think it only needs to be wrapped once. That's all I'm going to do. If you want it wrapped more than once, well, I guess you can. This paper's not really super heavy, so we'll just cut that down there. All right, now in our front pockets, say we have a project going, you can store some of your little bit bigger stuff down here. It's going to do a project with a little window envelope. You could do something like that. And whatever this little tag booklet is, you could do like if you was doing something with, looks like little file folders or anything like that, you could put them in there. And then let's see how this fits. Well, that one's just a little too tall. Let's see how this fits. And that fits good. And you have a lot of room in there. And you could just wrap. Well, let's go this way. And wrap. So you might want to wrap it more than once. And look how much that holds. Well, that's just too cool. I like that. Then with your other little pieces here, you can cut these to just make a couple smaller tags if you didn't want to waste your paper. These little tags could be have notes made on them. Let me see if that's straight. So you could leave these in your front pocket, this pocket here. Because I like to make notes. I always make notes. And them can just sit down in there. That can sit down in there. Look how much that holds. That holds a good amount of stuff. So let me know down in the comments. Now, like this one here, if it was in progress, you would just take these out and slide it down in there. And it might fit, still might not. I don't know. These are pretty. Oh, I like these. But anyways, that's not what we're doing. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this ephemera holder. And do you think that that would work for some of your projects? So until the next time, everyone, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And come back see me for my next video. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye for now.